All right, as you can see today in Fusion 360, we are going to make a simple paperclip. It's actually pretty easy to do. So let's get started. All right, here we are in Fusion 360. As you know, the first thing we need to do is change this from untitled and save it as something more meaningful. So let's click the save button and type in paperclip. Save. All right. You can see right up there, it's changed to paperclip. Okay, let's get started. So in this video, what we're going to use is a tool called the sweep tool. It's actually really simple and fun to use. You don't have to follow along with this part of the video, but just watch real quick how I use it. I'm going to create a new sketch. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my line tool and just make a simple path. Doesn't even matter what direction. I'm just kind of going in random places. And eventually I'll hit finish sketch. Okay. And I'm going to do another drawing, this time on a different plane, perpendicular to my first line. And I'm going to start with a little tiny circle, just like that. Finish sketch. And watch what I can do here. You don't have to follow along, but I'm going to go to a tool called the sweep. And I'm going to select that first profile I just made, select my path, and there you go. It makes a nice little sweep. So we're going to use that tool to basically make our paperclip. So let me undo my work here and get back to a good start. I don't want to have to resave a new file. So here we go, ready to start. So this is where you start following along. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a sketch. Okay, now we want that sketch to be on this bottom plane here. Okay, so go ahead and click on that. You'll notice that we're in millimeters, and that's where we're going to stay for this video. And I'm going to select the line tool. Okay, now for this particular task, we want to make sure we start on the origin. Okay, so you don't want to start somewhere out here. Start here, and we're going to click and just let go of our mouse. We're just going to move it out, and we're going to move it out to, we'll say 50 millimeters. Okay. Now, to make an arc instead of a straight line, you're going to click and hold your mouse button down. And I'm going to just start moving my mouse this way. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm moving it up 3 cubes there. You'll see it says 7.5. But I moved it up 3 grid spaces there, and I'm going to just let go. So now it's made a little arc. Okay. Now I'm going to click again, and instead of holding down, I'm just moving my mouse. Okay. So basically what that's doing is it's creating a line instead of an arc. Okay. And somewhere out here, maybe 1 past that initial starting point, we'll make a 2 past it. We're going to click again. Okay. And again, we're going to do an arc. So we need to click and hold down that mouse button. And I'm going to go to about here. Well, no, I'm going to go to about here. 1 grid space down. And then click without holding, because we're doing a straight line. And I'm going to click to where it's basically at the same end as that first arc. Okay, and click and hold and arc it up around like that. And then click one more time, and I'm going to finish back on the same line that I started on. Okay, so you can see, well, let me undo 2 things. I did a little mistake. Let me try this one again. Back to my line tool. I'm going to click and hold. I guess, oh yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to stop there. Okay, so click there, click without holding, and stop there. So we've got a nice little paperclip made. You can hit escape to get out of the line tool and hit finish sketch. So we've got the outline of what we need. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Here's where it can get a little tricky. So we need to do our next sketch on a different plane. Okay, so click create sketch. And instead of choosing the base plane like we did before, I want the one that's kind of perpendicular to it. So I'm going to click this one here. And you notice most of it disappears because I'm facing it. If I were to go like this, you can see it is still there. Okay. But I'm going to click straight at it. Now I'm going to change to the circle tool. Okay. Click on the circle tool. And again, you can see this is why we started from the origin. And we can place our center point right on that origin. Click and move your mouse out a little bit. I'm going to move mine to 3 millimeters. So just click in 3, enter, and then hit finish sketch. Okay, so I'm going to go to the isometric view over here. And you can see it's made a little circle there, kind of perpendicular to where I started that line. Okay, so here's where the magic happens. We are going to go to the sweep tool. Okay, so it's not up here directly. You have to click on the create menu down here. And if you move down, you'll see the sweep tool. Again, it says it follows a path that you choose. So we're going to hit sweep. And we need to select the profile that's going to sweep. Really, the only choice is this circle here. And then we need to go over here on the side and choose select the path. So we're going to change to selecting the path. And now I just need to hover over that initial line I made, click it, and you can see it makes the path. Okay. Click OK. Now, if for some reason your paperclip parts were touching each other, you can go back and change that by coming down here to the bottom, double clicking, and you can actually drag out the pieces to make it a little bit bigger, spread them apart a little bit. You won't be able to move that first line because it's locked there, but we can move the other lines if we wanted. Okay. You don't have to do this part. That's just, me being picky. We can even move this part out like that. Okay, hit finish sketch. And the last thing we're going to do is put tiny little fillets, actually chamfers, on the ends here so that they're not so sharp. Okay, so I'm going to orient so that I'm turned this way a little bit so I can see the ends, and I'm going to zoom into those ends a little bit just to make things easier. Okay, and again, chamfer is not on this top menu here, so I have to click the modify menu, choose chamfer. And before I do anything over here, I'm going to tell it which edges I want chamfered. So I'm going to click here, and you see it turns blue. And I'm going to click here and see that that turns blue. Okay. And I can just start typing, or I can click in this box. And my chamfer is going to be 0.5. Okay. Hit OK. And there you go. So let's go back to our isometric, and you see we've got a finished paperclip. So you can see the sweep tool is very useful. You can use it for just about any path that you make with a line or a curve or an arc or anything like that. And in this case, it made a nice paperclip. So let's go ahead and save our work. Just leave it as user saved. Okay, and this should change to V2 up here. Yep, there it goes. So we know it's saved, and that's it. So enjoy making your paperclip, and hopefully you'll find other uses for the sweep tool.